Earliest childhood footballing memory would probably be when I was about 6. I think I'd been playing a lot of football with my dad. We used to go on the grass all the time, practice heading, funnily enough. I used to love heading the ball when I was a kid, but then he took me to a trial, or like a young team when I was about 6, Middlewood Rovers I think it was. And I remember turning up, there was loads of kids running around with one ball, and my dad thought I was ready to join in. I thought I was ready, and then I think I lasted about 5 minutes and started crying. Just wasn't ready, didn't enjoy it. So my dad was, I remember he was a bit fuming actually. I think we travelled a long way, and I remember getting back in the car. I don't think he spoke to me. Two things spring to mind. I think watching Spanish football on a Saturday, it always seemed to be on, and Ronaldinho made me fall in love with football. And I just remember watching Barca and Real Madrid on the weekends when I was really young, and just loving watching it, loving the skills, loving, Ronaldinho always played with a smile on his face. That was probably my first memory of watching football. And then I was at the game where David Seaman made that famous save, Sheffield United against Arsenal at Old Trafford. And I think it was Paul Pesky-Salido on the back post, and Seaman scooped it off the line. So I was there with my dad and my uncle, and that was probably the first game I went to. I mean, there's a fair few, but I would say probably the Under-20 World Cup, winning the Under-20 World Cup and scoring the winner in the final. I remember sat before the game thinking of like how it could go and how I wanted to, write the headlines really. So it's rare that you play on a big occasion. Not rare, but it goes the way you want it to go. It did for me that day, and there was a fair few family members that were over in South Korea at the time. So I remember running over. I've told the story before, to my dad, my mum, my granddad in the stand when the final whistle went, and just embracing them all and just sheer elation. But I think what that did for me was made me believe even more that I was capable of doing it, on the bigger stages. I'd probably go for Muhammad Ali. I think that he might be a lot of people's answer, but I remember having canvases. I had a big canvas in my bedroom when I was young, and I think he was the first black athlete that I saw, that maybe looked a bit like me, that had achieved a lot in his life. And I remember asking my mum, I said, I want a picture of him on my wall. So, every day I would see that. I had a fair few actually. And I don't know what triggered that, or what made me see him as a role model or as an icon at such a young age. But yeah, I had plenty of pictures of Muhammad Ali, and obviously what he did in his life, not only in sport but beyond that, is there for everyone to see. I recognise the responsibility that I have with the position that I'm in. I think it's like what I referred to before. I think at a young age, seeing people that look like you doing what you want to do, and the game is so diverse now that there's many people that look like me for young people to look at as role models and inspiration. And I think it just helps. It's everything's belief and belief in yourself. So to be able to see that someone else has, walked that path before you, makes you believe even more that you can do it yourself. I think it'd have to be making my England debut, something that I'm still so incredibly proud of, and a place that I'm looking to get back to and working towards. I think to represent your country is the biggest thing you can achieve in playing football, and something that I look back on fondly, and something that I use as inspiration to get to that level again. I think I got a text from the manager at the time, so I had a little feeling that I was going to get the nod, but to actually get the nod is something that feels completely different, nothing you can prepare for. And I just remember calling my family, my mum, my dad, and just letting them know. And obviously they were, because I think I found out maybe an hour or two before the actual squad come out. So, it's everything we'd been working towards, all the the hours driving that got put in by family members, and the lonely times where you're on a mission to achieve that, for it finally to come together, and then to actually initially make my debut was special. Proud, joy, relief, I would say. I'd probably give the advice that my dad used to give me from a very young age, and it was, doesn't matter where you come from. He used to refer to, there was a lot of Spanish lads and European lads getting brought over by big academies at the time when I was young. I know it still happens today, but I think he just used to say it doesn't matter where you're from, what background you have. If you believe in yourself, you know, you can achieve what you set out to achieve with the right work ethic, belief and perseverance.